Obama to send 500 more troops to Iraq. U.S. President Barack Obama is reportedly preparing to approve the deployment of more U.S. troops to Iraq to train up local forces fighting Islamic State. He is considering up to 500 additional troops as well as a new training base in Iraq's Anbar province, unnamed U.S. officials were quoted as saying. President Obama said earlier this week the U.S. lacked a complete strategy for helping Iraq regain territory from island IS has recently made gains in Iraq despite US-led coalition airstrikes. In May the militants seized Ramadi, the capital of Anbar, Iraq's largest province, as well as the Syrian town of Tadmur and the neighbouring ancient ruins of Palmyra. IS fighters took control of Iraq's second city Mosul a year ago. Inside Mosul, life under IS control on the front line in battle for Mosul. Footage reveals IS regime in Mosul. What has happened since the fall of Mosul? The U.S. National Security Council said it was now considering a range of options to accelerate the training and equipping of Iraqi security forces. Those options include sending additional trainers, spokesman Alastair Baskey said. General Martin Dempsey, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, told journalists on a visit to Jerusalem that there would be no fundamental change to Mr. Obama's military strategy in Iraq. But, he added, the service chiefs had made some recommendations on potential enhancements to the training and equipment. Sending more U.S. trainers may ultimately help to build a new Iraqi military, but for many analysts the problem remains. The U.S. strategy is not so much incomplete, as President Obama admits, but failing. So how might it be done differently? General David Petraeus, the architect behind the strategy that helped to defeat Islamic State's predecessor, told me in the BBC interview earlier this month that the U.S. needed to furnish much closer support to the Iraqis both at the government level in Baghdad and on the ground. He did not rule out sending U.S. forward air controllers to the front line, for example. And he made it clear that in his view Iraqi troops could fight and win, but they needed to know that the U.S. and its allies had their back, i.e., that their power support was just a call away. The plan follows months of behind-the-scenes debate within the White House on how to retake Mosul and Ramadi, the New York Times reports. U.S. officials believe a major factor in the fall of Ramadi was a lack of training of Iraqi forces. There are currently around 3,000 U.S. military personnel, including trainers and advisors, in Iraq. The United Kingdom said earlier this week it will send an extra 125 troops, taking the number of UK personnel training Iraqi security forces to 275.